All right, y'all, here we are, Boston. We are at Club BRP for the Can-Am dealer meeting, and the big news this year is right behind me. It's the Defender. And I know a lot of you have been asking for all kind of upgrades and cool things, and I'm here to tell you Can-Am has delivered, and I can't wait to show it to you, so let's check it out. All right, y'all, here we go. We are going to go behind the scenes, if you will, because this is a dealer meeting. Not a lot of people get to come to this. So we're going to show you firsthand everything that there is to see on this new Defender if we can get in here. It's a hot ticket, man. The other night when they did the big reveal, we couldn't even get close to one of these Defenders because everybody is all fired up about it. They've got a Lone Star Max over here, and it is sweet. Before we even get to the Lone Star Max, this is a limited 3-seater, like a single cab. You know, your Max is a 6-seater and this one is a 3-seater, but this is the limited platform. So you have your tinted windows, and the limited actually comes with an audio system now, a full screen, like everything that you guys have been asking for, the power, the screen, the suspension, quieter, like everything that you've been looking for and begging for out of a Defender is here. One thing that some of you guys have said to me in some of the questions that I've gotten on my Can-Am Defender videos is you would like for the seat to almost kind of be reclined a little bit so it's not so straight up and down. And I have great news. They have actually reclined them a little bit now for the new 2026. And the seat, you know, some people are shorter, some people are taller. But the cool thing about if you're shorter is now the seat, when you move it forward, it goes down a little bit on an angle. So the degree has changed so your feet can actually touch the pedals. So for short people, that rocks. And for the large people, the steering wheel goes all the way up, so that way you have plenty of room for your belly. And then you pull it back down, and it's right where you had it adjusted. Put it up, get in, pull it down, let's ride. We've got a full screen. We've got improved vents and even more air vents. We've got improved HVAC. We've got a shift gate, a lot of controls, more detailed controls, much better HVAC control system. This vehicle literally has been redesigned and is answering everybody's request and call for what they needed out of a Defender. Got the audio system up here, 2 speakers in the front. The Max has 2 in the back. And another thing that they did that has been a big request is they moved the gas tank. It's on the driver's side, just like a lot of vehicles. So that's one thing a lot of people wanted to have improved or changed, so they did that. And everything from a pre-filter on the side so you get better ventilation, cleaner air, keeps it cooler. You've got a better, more improved handle for your bed. This LINQ system is just amazing. This really looks like it was made for this vehicle instead of like an afterthought. So lots of accessories that you can put onto this machine, lots of stuff you can add to it. Tailgate, big improvements here, much wider handle. You know, the other one had a really small handle. It also has like an accent. It's painted just like the side of the vehicle to kind of add a little bit of class to it. And if you're standing on the side, this handle's big enough that you can open it from the side, and then now you can also shut this tailgate while you're standing on the side. Because if you have a Defender, you know in the past you haven't been able to shut that tailgate, standing on the side could have bound up. Well, they fixed that. And everything on the suspension, A-arms, drive shaft, axles, you name it, this thing has been beefed up and it is ready to work or play. I mean, whatever you want to do, you could work or play with this thing. That Defender Limited right there in the, I guess you would call it pearl white, that is a really, really good looking machine. And a lot of this stuff, when you look at it on camera, you can't really tell how good it looks or how beefy the A-arms are or the suspension or, you know, some of the changes they've made. But I'm telling you firsthand, when you actually lay eyes on this thing, there's a lot of changes and a lot of really cool upgrades. And I know I'm pretty excited to get one out on the trail and try it out. Right now, we're going to check out this Lone Star. And this thing here is just next level. When you're talking about like the Cadillac of the off-road lineup, this is where it's at. And there's a lot of things that goes into a machine like this that you don't even see that they did to increase the power and also decrease the noise level, and to make it ride better, less vibration. There's a lot of stuff that Can-Am did to this when they designed it and engineered it to really make it just a much better machine out on the trail for us. On the Lone Star, you also have rock sliders here, and they all now come with a step right here, so you can step here and then come up like this. So that way you don't have to be jumping up on the tire to try and get up into the bed, especially if you're running like a LINQ system. You've got a lot of accessories. You can use that step to get up, or if you have anything on top, it's just much easier to use that side step to get up into your cargo. Of course, you got all your boxes, your bags, your jerry cans, and then of course the Lone Star has like the roof sound system. The Limited does not. The Limited has speakers in the front and the rear, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, but the Lone Star has like a full audio system on the roof. So if you want to really thump and bump, this thing will do it going down the trail. In the Defender Limited and the Defender Lone Star Max, there's actually HVAC improvements, and there's vents in the rear now for the passengers, which makes it really nice. And then there's also more vents in the front, so increased air, increased vents, and this thing will really keep it nice and cool going down the trail. Or if you're riding around and it's snowing, it's going to keep you nice and toasty warm. One thing you'll notice on the whole Can-Am lineup this year is they went to a synthetic rope on their winches instead of a wire rope. You know, synthetic rope is just much easier to use. It floats in the water. It's not as abrasive on your hands. So it's just a much more user-friendly application. So that's why they went to the synthetic rope. When you get in this new Defender, one thing you're going to notice is you do recline back a little bit further. The seats are actually laid back a little bit more now. So a lot of you guys that were requesting a more laid back seating, when you're in this unit, now you have it. Instead of being so straight up and down, it's just a much more comfortable seating position. This whole new instrument setup, the screen, all that, we had a chance to talk to one of the techs about this, and this thing has a lot to offer, and it just has everything you need out on the trail.
The difference between the Cab XT and the Limited is the XT's on 29s, the 29 tires. It doesn't have the sound system. It doesn't have full insulation for noise, like rubber mats and thicker material.
It doesn't have the tinted windows. Like
it doesn't have the tinted windows.
Yeah,
that's what I was missing. The previous platform was about 10 years old. It was introduced in 2016. It was, I mean, it evolved during all those years. For example, for the frame, we got it in a Max. It was originally designed for a 3-up. After that, we made a Max. We made it stronger, bigger tires, more power in 2020. XMR package, so lots of high loads, a lot of reinforcement and updates, and also the cabs. So in order to make the HD11 and to put everything that we wanted to put and start fresh, to be able to put the engine, the extra power, and so on, the whole, even though the architecture is the same, the whole, it's basically brand new. Everything below the dash, the frame is completely new. Everything has been reinforced. All the drive lines, the chassis, steering, knuckles, everything has been reinforced so that we can. It's ready to have all the packages. I mean, it doesn't happen often that we launch a vehicle and all the big end packages are there at the same time. So the vehicle, the platform is ready to receive that.
I heard something about like the bushings and like lasting longer, not really greasing them, or
all around we have double bounded bushings. So at the A-arms, in the rear we have one at the lower point. On the knuckles, this is the front, but on the rear there's one on the knuckles. And also on the sway bars.
Oh, okay.
So there's no greasing needed. There's no squeaking. If you run the vehicle like it happens after a while when you don't grease it. So
after a while, water and dust and mud and everything, you start to get a squeak. Okay.
There's a lot of, I mean, the two or three things, you know, the main ideas, it's more robust, more rugged, and to start fresh. The second is more refinement. Everything, there's a lot of big things, but many small things on refinement, including noise. So this is one of them.
And then are the shocks pretty much the same or similar as what was?
The shocks are calibrated different because the suspension is brand new, so the geometry of the suspension is completely different. In 2023, when we came up with 30-inch tires, we had to make arms that are a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
And we lost a bit of turning radius by doing that.
Okay.
So it was chosen to go higher tires versus turning radius, lose a lot. We've straightened everything. The point was that the wheel was not straight with the differential, and we were losing a bit of an angle with the CV joint. So now we're back to we're gaining on this one. I think it's about 1.5 feet of turning radius.
Okay, so you picked up the turning radius by evening it with the differential.
Yep. So everything's aligned.
So and then the shock setup is different on this compared to a limited, compared to an XMR. Like the limited shocks are different, right?
Yeah, they're different. They're different based on the
weight,
each of the configuration. Depending on the weight and the length of the vehicle are different. One thing we can say when I say it's beefed up, like, you know, the tie rods are kind of the fuse for the whole suspension and steering system. So the tie rods are stronger. So everything downstream is also beefed up. So the knuckles are stronger. We've got the bearings from the X3.
Yep.
The A-arms are, we can just see it, that it's stronger. Same thing for the frame. Rack and pinion bracket is also reinforced compared to the old version.
Okay.
And for driveline, it's the same thing. The half shaft are 25% stronger. So everything downstream. The differential on the XT is brand new. It works like the previous Visco lock. But it had more plates, twice the clamping power, twice the clamping force, and you can lock it.
Oh, okay.
So even under high load, it's not gonna squeal or burn the clutches.
This is metal.
This is new. That's new on all the lineup this year. In 26, covers all the way to here, and the same for the skid plates. So anything coming from the bottom, skid plates are 3 times as thick, so close to 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Yep.
Close to 1/2 inch, and then you also did like bolts instead of rivets on the skid.
Yeah, on the new Defender, it's all bolts, and we've had less than half of the fasteners. We used to have lots of rivets. Yeah, it's more than half of that, and it's all bolts, threaded inside and it's real threads inside the frame. It's not screwed in directly in the frame. In terms of ergonomics, we used to have, we needed to, for regulations, we need to have a shoulder bar that will cover the most forward position of the seat. Of course, obviously, if you have a shoulder bar that gets down there for a bigger person, that's more of an issue. So now it moves with the seat, so that allows it to have at the right position for the driver, but also much shorter. If you're a bigger person, you have much more place. The seat angle has been slightly lowered, angled back a little bit. Yep. It's not that much, but it makes a big difference. It's a little bit higher, and the ergonomics has been improved also. The bolsters have been improved. The display is standard on the Limited and Lone Star. On the XT, you could have it. There's the option to have it. Yeah. There's also a lot of accessories on this one. It's actually a demo that has all the audio that you can fit into that small cab. Yeah. Oh, I'll bet that thing's thumping with all that. The whole layout of the dash, I mean, that's part of the kind of the refinement story for the vehicle. So the whole layout of the dash has been improved. Steering wheels, controls on the steering wheels, the screen. We've got keys now, a desk key that we used to have a mechanical key. Yeah. So with the desk key, of course, it's an anti-theft. But you also, like for example, on tour operators, you can actually program the key to whatever speed you want. Anything below, I think it's 20 miles an hour, up to full speed. So when you program the key, you can say, okay, I want this key to be 50, this key to be 30. So it's maximum full power until you reach, say, 30 or 40. Yeah, it's just a speed limiter. On the engine, we're taking the air. This is CVT. The other side is engine. We're taking the air completely on the sides to get air as cold as possible to cool down, but also as clean as possible. This, even if you look at videos over there, or you run the vehicle in dirt or mud, you can see that this area here is typically where it's the cleanest. On this, it's still an off-road vehicle, but it's the cleanest. We also have a pre-filter, and it's on 2 angles, so on 2 different planes.
Yeah, because at first we were looking at it thinking it was lowered.
It's not. It's not. I mean, the intake is actually, this is just
the pre-filter.
Yeah, and places for the air to come in. The intake is actually
right here.
Yeah, so it's actually higher, a little higher than it used to be. So you can get in water up to here, no problem. It's just 3 clips.
Oh, okay.
You can remove it.
Oh, wow.
It's the X3 filter, so it's much bigger than it used to be.
So the exhaust looks different, like
all the exhaust is different, and it's of course for power and torque, but specifically for noise. I mean,
yeah, it sounded super quiet. I heard that one running yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of effort has been done to keep the noise level low. All of the power pack, we did a lot of predictive engineering. So basically, we model everything in the computer, all the parameters, the length of the tailpipe, the size of the tailpipe, where the baffles are in the muffler, the size of the airbox, the resonator, everything. Yeah. And then we look at all the combinations that make it what we want. There's over like 450 combinations that have been checked before we build a prototype. So when you build the first prototype, you're not done, but the rest is fine tuning.
And then you were saying, what was the percentage quieter?
It's in a cab. It really depends. If the noise is complicated.
Yeah.
It's about, in a cab, it's about 3 dB, 3 decibel less, which is 50% noise. It's 50% less noise power. That's if you run at constant speed. Yeah. Say you're running down the trail at 30 miles an hour. Yeah. Where it's even more noticeable is when you accelerate. When you floor it, the old Defender and many of the competitors, there's a lot of there's a lot of intake noise. There's much less intake noise on that, and that's especially true on the with the new snorkels and the new on the XMR. The XMR used to be very loud. Yeah. In wide open. Now it's in my opinion it's too quiet, but it's my opinion for an XMR. But it's much it's much nicer. Yeah. In order to lower the noise, there's some big things like calibrating the engine, making sure we have torque, making sure we keep the RPMs low. Yeah. Calibrating the engine and the transmission. But there's also a lot of little things like the bushings make a difference. Like I said, the airbox, the resonator, a lot of the component, the engine mount. We tried many configurations of engine mount to make sure that we wouldn't get too much vibration on the seat. The fact that it's a 3-cylinder, it rumbles a little less than a V2, so that helps. And all down to the fan in the front and the fan on the HC have soft start, so it's not. It's
like a ramp up.
Yeah, ramp up. And in the front for the radiator. It allows us to have the speed that we need. That doesn't have to be wide, full speed all the time to make all of the noise. This is nice with the accessory. They can tell you more details, but this rack can be installed down low here or on the roof. Yeah, it's very versatile.
Yeah, that's a good looking setup right there. That's the thing I like about these accessories, like the LINQ. It just looks like it was made like to be a part of that machine. It's not like, hey, let's just throw some tubing on there.
D-rings now instead of just fixed clamp, so they run down flat. Backup lights on each machine, so no more hitting the brakes and at night to try to see what's happening.
Backup camera?
Yeah, the screen comes with a backup camera. The Lone Star has the front camera. But as soon as you got the screen, it's pre-wired. So if you want to put it there, it's just plug in. All
right. It definitely looks more like robust, like
it is
heavy duty, like just everything in the suspension. Would you say you could run 32s on this with no problem?
32s fit. 32s fit in the arches. I mean, the front, you're not going to run.
Okay. And you won't have any like performance issues, or it's not going to really, or do you need to reclutch or?
It's for 32s. You could probably
Get away with
use
one.
it. Yeah, get away with. I mean, it's going to be a little slower for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
physics.
And then as far as power, so they went from what
82 to 95.
82 to 95.
Yeah.
And then
And torque is 70. But what's most important on the torque is we've got more torque and a flatter torque curve between 4,500 to 6,000. This is typically where we want the shift.
Yeah.
If you're running at 70 miles an hour, the RPM is going to go higher for sure. But once during typical acceleration or typical cruising, this is the range we want. So this is where we want it to have a nice flat.
okay. And what was the tow rating? 2,500.
2,500
And
1,000. 1,000 in the box.
All right. And so I was told that the gas tank was moved over here due to requests from consumers, from your customers.
Yeah, it's a combination of that plus the architecture of the engine. But yes, it's definitely a plus to have it on this side.
Okay.
And there was request on that.
So this one here has the rubber mats and the better insulation you were talking about?
Yeah, so there's mats that go all the way to the back, all of the inside of the cabin, of the floor. They're actually sold as an accessory as mats or protective mats or insulating mats. Part of the package to reduce the noise, the liner for the firewall is thicker and more absorbing, same as the roof liner.
Yeah.
There's a roof liner on the XT, but this one is multi-layer, it's thicker, and it absorbs more noise. Controls have been simplified, so they're standard 3 knobs, much simpler to use. We can select where we're sending the air, so we don't need to play around with all of the vents to close the vents. Or if you want to defrost, or so just like in a car, you can select. By redoing the whole dash, it was possible to optimize all of the ducting. It's real molded plastic, so the airflow is actually more than double compared to the previous Defender.
Yeah.
The capacity of the cooling is also 60% better, so it's going to cool much. I mean, last week it was probably 90 something degrees, very humid, and the cab cools down real fast. And when we were running for long rides, the fan was about 2.
Yeah.
3 out of 5, so much more capacity.
And then on the Max, there's actually vents in the rear now, right?
Yeah.
And more vents.
On the three up, there's 10 vents, including side vents for the windows, for the side windows, for defrosting the windows. And when you have a Max, there's 2 extra for the rear passengers.
Okay.
All right. So that's a big upgrade on the HVAC.
What was changed under the hood?
So the wood, first you can remove it super easily if you want to work on it. Filter for the HVAC, brakes, windshield washer, you can check your coolant. There's you can remove this and boost if you need to boost the vehicle, you can do it from the front. If you want, there's a accessory control module that comes with a bus bar here.
Yep.
You could plug the smart accessories right there. This is the antenna for the. If you get the screen, one new feature is the Find My Friend. You can. This is really nice. Works really well. Again, last week we were a group with about 12 people, 12 vehicles, and it has a mile or a mile and a half of range. So it's very nice because you can see where everyone is on the map, and it's a refresh rate. I think it's 1 second, so you can see if they're moving or not.
Yeah.
If they're on the right trail or not, and if they're following. So
I said it'd be nice if you had a 10 in the rear and the front, but you said because of testing, you couldn't do 10 in the rear and 10 in the front. You had to do the 9 in the front.
Yeah, I mean, we have to pass certain standards in terms of vehicle rollover, vehicle stability, and in order to do that will affect. I mean, when we calibrate suspension, talk about adjust ground clearance, shock settings, tires, and tire size, and tire pressure. So we got to find the right combination to make sure that it's stable. table. So in this case, in order to meet the criteria that we have, we need to have 10 inches in the back.
Okay. And then you said if you did do a 10 in the front, you would probably feel it a little bit more in the steering, like you would get.
Yeah, you probably with the wire tire, it would affect a bit the steering.
Well, I think that's it, brother. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my pleasure.